You know what time it is.
Yes.
Welcome back to another episode of RSVP Sport, your weekly podcast where we bring you the most up-to-date information in today's NBA. Little analytics, no politics, no gimmicks. Always makes for great debate. We actually talk about sport. Now let's talk it.
Already an open night. We had the ring ceremony. We had Dallas and San Antonio going back and forth. And then we had monster numbers from the Olympic team general himself,
Anthony Davis.
Oh, my God. Yeah. You know what? Let me read some of this stat line real quick for you from Anthony Davis. Monster stat line. We've only seen that since who? Keem the Dream?
Yeah.
Back in 1990. Ronnie. If this guy's not special, I don't know who is. Ended with 26 points, 17 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and oh, by the way, 9 blocks.
9 blocks, countless more deflections and shot alterations. He's gonna be like what Kevin Garnett used to be. That's what I think he's gonna develop. And you know how Kevin Garnett was an all-around player. They always wanted him to score more.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna turn into that. Maybe not the individual defender Garnett was, but definitely a great defender in his own right, especially with those kind of blocks.
Good help defender. 9 blocks, man. That was huge. Whoever has him in our fantasy league probably just won the season with that night.
Right.
Oh, my God. Moving away from them real quickly, I want to touch on the game that everyone wants to hear us talk about, 2 Lakers fans, right?
I think the Lakers will be better. It's just how they bounce back.
We really just don't appreciate some things until they're gone. And right now, it just looks like Kobe is one of those things that we're not going to truly appreciate and respect till he's out the league, man.
He did say he doesn't want a farewell tour. They're definitely not giving him one.
Dwight Howard, foul trouble, 16 minutes through 3.5 quarters.
Yeah, he has to find a way to stay on the court. Stop making dumb fouls. It's not worth it.
But Ronnie, I don't get it with this guy. For a man that's supposed to and has all of this natural given gifts, these God-given talents, why are you so stupid? How do you lack such basketball IQ? Picking up stupid fouls. You're pushing Kobe. And I would say it's just last night, but as we've seen with his history, as history tells us, this guy has a problem with keeping his damn hands to himself.
You're speaking about the elbow?
I'm speaking about the elbow.
The elbow, I found nothing wrong with it. Kobe did what he was supposed to do, contest the pass.
Of course.
No guard was in the back court for them. Make him put it on the court.
Now, what would you have done if you were Kobe?
The same thing. And if I was Dwight, I would have did the same thing. As a big man, you throw around that elbow.
Yeah.
You teach a guard not to stick your face where my elbows are.
Let's hear a quick soundbite from Kobe Bryant and how we felt about this whole situation.
It's tough, man.
What do you think about the elbows thrown at you and the emotions?
I think it's fantastic. It's the game. It's the game. It's all part of the game, man. Elbows are part of the game, and trash talk is part of the game. I mean, it's I don't know where the NBA became so sensitive.
Byron said that you and Black said they don't like each other. Do you agree with that?
No, you can't help but like. I mean, he's a teddy bear. You can't help but like him. I really mean that. I mean, he's a really nice kid, man.
So, after Kobe saying all of that, pretty much agrees and is on the same sentiments as what you were saying earlier. It's part of the game. The NBA has gotten really soft nowadays, so every little thing makes the news. Honestly speaking, though, I think that was a foul play. There's no need to be swinging your elbows with that much malicious intent behind it. Clearly saw it was Kobe.
Of course, I don't think it was malicious intent. The elbow barely caught him. He didn't swing it hard. He did what he was supposed to do. If anybody else, if it wasn't Kobe and Dwight, we wouldn't be speaking about it.
Good point. Now, the final story of last night, and it's such a tragic story. Our man, Julius Randle.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. It points questions at the Lakers training staff because there were questions about Julius Randle's foot, coming into the season, the draft. Some people felt like he needed to take care of it. What I'm hearing they're saying is that the screws were kind of crooked. It wasn't a good foundation. and then your tibia cracks.
You were reading articles today that highlighted these screws and, possibly not being stable and a good base for this man. Of course, the Lakers organization and medical staff already has to know this.
Right,
So what's going
everyone
on? One bad decision after another, and now we got to question the medical team?
Hindsight is 2020. We know that. So we could sit here and, point fingers. But at the end of the day, it was a tragic event for Julius Randle. I hope he gets back to, to court as soon as possible.
Yeah, me too, man. Yo, Julius, get better quick. I really did like that quote that you said the other day that they played on TNT, actually, when they said, you could be like the next Shaq. And he goes, nah, I want to be the next Kobe.
Yeah, I
Yo,
don't think
I
Shaq
love that
liked
guy.
that too much, but hey, it is what
It is what it is. Exactly. Welcome back. This segment, we're going to look at some of the big storylines that's coming up in this season. What you want to start with, my man?
Well, the biggest one is LeBron in Cleveland. I'm going to see how Cleveland meshes, if it's going to be a struggle like it was for him in year one in Miami, or, what happens. The pieces fit nicely here.
Pieces fit amazingly nice.
Right.
If I had to say myself, I personally believe that the core group as a team fit better than it did in Miami. They have players that are going to be great. Let's just put this into some perspective. LeBron James, the best player in the game.
Right.
Kevin Love, according to Shaquille O'Neal, one of the best overall big men of all time. Kevin Love is right now the best power forward in the game. Kyrie Irving, top 5 point guard in the game today. Great. And then we have no scrub coming off of their bench in Deion Waiters.
There's a lot of players out there. I don't know if he's top 5, but definitely a great young player for them. I feel like he should come off the bench.
Give them another dynamic.
Yeah, and he's a player that needs the ball. With Kevin Love, Kyrie, and LeBron in your starting lineup, you need spacers and movers at that point.
All right, so if Miami went 58 and 24 their first year, 46-20 their second year, which was the lockout season, of course, 66 and 16 the year before, and then their final year they went 54 and 28. Where do you kind of put Cleveland in that matter? Vegas got them at 58.5 wins this year.
Yeah.
I'm putting them at 60 wins this year. What you got them?
55.
55?
Yeah, 55.
Why 55, man? That's less than what Miami did their first year.
Well, number one, the East is a whole lot better. Number two is the whole discussion that we're having, how they mesh, so there will be a little growing period.
I've been hearing people throw out Chicago Bulls to beat them. This season is all about chemistry, and I guess Chicago would hold that chemistry, but once again, they're bringing their main player, the one that they're going to actually be relying on to make that move, is Derrick Rose.
If D Rose stays healthy, I give the slight advantage as of right now to Chicago, and I think everyone should or will. But it all depends on how Cleveland meshes.
So D Rose health, that's another big story for this year.
Right.
You got him playing all 82 games?
Definitely not. Just because it's hard for anybody to play 82 games. Do I think he's going to be healthy? I think his career relies on it at this point.
Another person that we really don't know is going to have a good season or not is Dwayne Wade.
It's a different summer for us. It's no secret, obviously. It's been a change, in how we looked the last 4 years, about losing, LeBron back to Cleveland. So as the Miami Heat, I think our ownership has done a great job so far of trying to, not replace, but recover from that. We had a long flight back from Vegas, so I probably knew then, without him telling me at that moment, you could tell, what someone's heart is, and where they're thinking. And, I kind of knew at that moment, and, me as his friend, I'm just supportive. It's crazy as that might sound, I'm supportive of my friend, of doing what makes them happy. And, I think the decision for him to go back home was that thing.
Apart from actually getting married to Gabrielle Union this year, I don't know another athlete in the NBA that's had a worse offseason. You lose LeBron James and a few other of your teammates. Chris Bosh gets a bigger deal than you because you opted out thinking the big three was going to remain together. Basically, you're not. You know you're not going anywhere.
That gotta sting. Like
hurts.
nobody mentions that as much. But like D Rose opted out of $20 million. I'm sorry, not D Rose. D Wade opted out of $20 million. All three of them opted out.
Yeah. But two of them thought one of them was gonna stay. the person that was the whole team.
And two of them got either the same or more money.
Wade didn't get more money.
Chris Bosh and LeBron did.
Oh yeah. So since we were talking about Rose's health, we all know that it's been a big
issue for Wade.
Yes. So in the Miami's 4 years together, Wade played in order of the season 76 games, 49, 69, and then 54 last year. Is this really the person we're expected to carry the Miami Heat? Because Chris Bosh is sure as hell is not going to carry them. He's not.
If D Wade could come back and be just an older D Wade with being healthy, then Chris Bosh is enough for them to be, in the middle pack of the Eastern Conference and have a chance to upset somebody in the playoffs.
What are you expecting Chris Bosh's averages to be? Because he's not going to average a double-double.
I don't know, like 20 and 8, like a little bit over 20,
okay.
around 8 rebounds.
And if I'm not mistaken, in my opinion, 20 and 8, that's a second option on a championship team.
That's why Miami's season rests on D Wade's shoulders.
Media takeoffs topic next. Hang tight, folks. Welcome back. Appreciate you guys hanging tight with us. Now we're into the media takeout segment. What's that? Well, it's where we're going to grab topic that's been floating around and really reel it in and give our take on it. And this week, what we're going to talk about is how the game of basketball, how all these players are trying to change the game of basketball. A lot of talk has been going in regards to shortening the season.
The NBA's 82-game regular season needs to be shortened. So says Dirk Nowitzki and LeBron James. Here's the quote. I think you don't need 82 games to determine the best 8 in each conference. That could be done a lot quicker, but I always understand that it's about money.
There's so much money out there now for these players that, I could understand them wanting maybe a shorter season, expand their brands and do things. But as far as it being physically taxing on these players, unless you're injured, what do you mean? You're going to be working out and you're going to be playing basketball in the off season. We've seen it the last couple of years with all these summer leagues. Like they go in the Drew League down in DC. Kobe said it. The league is soft. The league is soft. Officials have taken over the game.
Dude,
ticky-tack fouls, no physicality. Injuries are higher for some reason anyway.
So you mean to tell me that, because I think the whole reason behind all of this supposedly is to save the athlete.
Injuries are higher.
Athletes want more money. You think you're going to get more money playing less games? In this market that we live in, this money-hungry market that we live in? Come on.
The players are getting full of themselves in ways where they're speaking up about things that they shouldn't be speaking up about at the moment. Commenting on the season's length, guaranteed contracts, stuff like that. You're playing your hand before you get to the negotiation table.
Now, this is a real interesting point. These guys are going to shorten the season or shorten the games from 48 minutes to 44 minutes, but it's not like the star players are going to really get that much rest. The star players are going to play the same. The role players get less.
They get less money.
Exactly. They need to calm down. Let's keep basketball at just that, basketball.
And cut out all of these TV timeouts, replays that take over 10 minutes for them to figure out, these new changes that they're trying to implement or testing out are just proving the fact. Keep the game how it is. Give the officials more rope to not call as many fouls or ticky-tack fouls. Stop giving them all these things to look for. Let these players play basketball.
I agree with you.
And one thing we ain't touch about, if they shorten the season, I guess LeBron said 60-something or Dirk said 60-something games, do you know how much an injury would impact a franchise? Like these injuries where you're missing 1 month, 2 months.
Good point, my man.
Your season may be over. Your team is not winning at that point. So
Let's stop talking about it. Let's play. And then the next time the players and owners meetings come back around, then y'all talk about it. And it's not going to go anywhere. The game ain't going to change. We've yet to adjust the corner spot for the three-point line to compensate for players with bigger foots nowadays. Like the dimensions of the game are the same since the three-point line came in. Why should we change the actual season? Whatever. I'm done with it. Next segment, Ronnie gets his shot to rant.
all right, this segment is Ronnie Rants. We're about to get into a topic that's that's been bugging me for a little bit now. Kobe's now the bad guy of the NBA again. And somehow, some way, a series of bad decisions, poor fortunes on the Lakers' behalf has somehow turned into Kobe's fault. Everyone by now has read the ESPN article. No one wants to play with Kobe. The Lakers are not winning because of Kobe's contract. But no one wants to point out, Chris Paul trade, denied. Steve Nash, injured second game of his Laker tenure. Dwight Howard, left, didn't like D'Antoni, was the main reason that he went. Lakers organization passing up on Phil Jackson for Mike D'Antoni. Just last night, Julius Randle gets hurt. None of these things are Kobe's fault. Sure, the contract could have been less. Sure. But they still had a max contract out there to play. Carmelo was not going to take $30 million less to come to a team that is no better than the team that he's leaving, where he can make $30 million more.
In a tougher conference.
Let's keep it real. LeBron was never leaving. No. These other free agents that are so-called don't want to play with Kobe, who are they? Jeannie Buss said it best. If you are afraid to play with Kobe, you're a loser.
Yeah.
Kobe's resume speaks for itself. Out of all these people that they're saying I don't want to play with Kobe, I don't think any of them has won a championship. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're speaking about LeBron or Tim Duncan. Those players are not going to come and play with Kobe. They're established players, and they have their own teams. So let's not blame Kobe for everything. Let's start looking at the Lakers itself.
The franchise.
They're in a period of transition. Mm-hmm. The good Jerry Buss died. That's a tough thing to go through. The kids are now finding their ways. It's their first time in the roles that they're in.
They kind of have two hats. Jeannie Buss being the operations and Jim Buss being the actual head of basketball decisions.
Right. Mitch Kupchak's been doing this for a long time.
Good time.
He's a great general manager. I think Jim Buss needs to back down a little bit, just my personal opinion, and let GM Mitch Kupchak, the GM, do the general manager. Let him be the person doing the basketball stuff. Mm-hmm. You give your opinion in the background, which he's been trying to do. It just seems like all of the final decisions have been Jim Buss' final decisions.
So let me ask you this. What's really pissing you off about how the media is playing Kobe?
No respect and a lack of facts. The only factual statement was about his contract. But like I said, they had enough money. Say Carmelo took that max contract, and now it's Kobe and Carmelo. They would have kept Powell. Mm-hmm. They had money. He was their free agent. They could go over the cap for him. Mm-hmm. They could have got rid of Steve Nash's contract, which would have gave him $10 million more to play with. Mm-hmm. They had options. The contract did not hinder them in the way that people are saying it hindered them.
And I agree with you. But now we're in a position because we have no talent. Mm-hmm. I can't even recognize if our bench is our starting unit or our starting unit is our bench outside of Kobe Bryant. How the hell do we make this better? Did you hear that interview with Carrie Champion and Jeannie?
Right.
And I'm shocked that Carrie didn't pick this out herself. I heard Jeannie say, Jim promised her this year that in 3 years the Lakers will be competitive. Correct me if I'm wrong. Does Kobe's contract expire in 2? Doesn't he plan to retire after his contract is over?
That's the storyline. Personally, I don't think he's going to retire. If they're in contention, if it's another season where they look bad, depending on how he feels, I really don't see him retiring. He did say when he got hurt with the Achilles, he could see himself playing 3-4 more years. It just sucks that he's not getting the level of respect that he deserves.
Let's not act like he's not who he is.
Right.
Let's not act like he's not, as you said, a 5-time NBA champion. Let's not act like he doesn't play for the second most profitable team in the league. Let's not act like he doesn't play for the most history team in the league.
That he's contributed history and profits
Let's not act like he is not the second best two guard the league has ever seen and the top 5 player of all time. What they're doing is trying to denigrate Kobe and his career. It is pathetic. I'm insulted for him.
You should be his publicist.
You still got him in the playoffs?
That's my team. I can't let go.
I didn't put them in the playoffs. You did.
I can't let go. I'm waiting on that trade. Just in case the Lakers do make the playoffs, I could say I told you so. And I'm telling you right now, I told you so.
Right off the bat.
I just want to reach the people out there. Once again, this is our weekly podcast. Me and Jonah, we just getting our feet wet in the game. Just want to give you our takes on what's going on, specifically in basketball for right now. We will be getting in touch with other sports there, other, big storylines out there. But let us know what you think. Hit us with any questions, things you would like us to cover, criticism, the whole 9.
Tell them the plug. Where we at?
We on Twitter at RSVP Sports. We on Instagram
at RSVP_
Sports. Just let us know. Email us. Our information will be there. Anything you want to hear, just let us know.
Website soon to come, people. Be on the lookout for it. With that being said, thanks for listening, and we hope to have your ear again next week. Peace.